Hey, what's up, YouTube audience? I know it's been a while since I've updated you guys, but I know that some of you want to, keep in touch with what's going on in my personal life as I'm building this other business, this e-commerce business. To address the obvious, yeah, I I cleaned up as far as my hair is concerned. I got a haircut back in January, which is why it's grown like an inch now. But yeah, I'm clean cut now. I don't have any you know, of the hair gel. I don't remember what it's called exactly. Normally it's more up here, but yeah. So clean cut and clean shaven too. I still kind of have bed beard because I didn't do any work today. But yeah, I did this because I wanted to look more professional and have people take me more seriously, which I think will pay off in the long run. So. And honestly, this look has kind of grown on me too. I think I like it just a little better than my old look with the long hair and the goatee. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, with having an appearance like that. But yeah, I think I look a little more respectable like this. So yeah, and but yeah, I'm gonna update you guys on what's been going on. First and foremost, after the hair, of course, is this whole quarantine business, and honestly, it hasn't affected me very negatively at all. Actually, it's actually affected me positively, if you could believe that. Um, I'm healthy. Everyone in my family, as far as I know, is healthy, and my financial situation has actually improved because I do Instacart full time, and now that people are staying home, there's more business there, and so yeah. Speaking of that, yeah, I've actually been doing DoorDash full time for the past 8 months now, or 6 months now, because I signed up back in September last year, and I was doing it as a supplemental way to make money. Excuse me, but I got fired from the job I had at the time, and since then I've been doing it full time, and I recently signed up for Instacart like literally last week, and I've been doing that now for a number of reasons. Because DoorDash has kind of gotten worse. Like it still pays pretty good, but the system is a joke, man. It really is. The agents have no clue what I'm talking about when I'm speaking to them, and the app crashes almost every time I use it. Oh man, I don't like it. And the app itself is really buggy too. So I don't do that. I don't work with them anymore. Now I'm working with Instacart. The app works just fine, and I don't have to wait 10 seconds for it to work either. Um, and on top of that, with Instacart, you're delivering from grocery stores with Instacart as opposed to restaurants, and therefore you spend more time on your feet, walking around, and less time in the car, which is good for me because I am wanting to get my physical walk more in line because I've neglected physical exercise for like 6 years now. And, with all this walking around, yeah, it's kind of, easing me back into starting to exercise regularly like I'm supposed to. And after the quarantine is lifted, I intend to get a gym membership and actually use it. And on top of that, I save a lot more on gas. With DoorDash, if I do a dash that's like 8 hours long, for example, I usually end up using about half or three-quarters of my gas tank. But with Instacart, I usually only use up about a quarter, if even that, if even a quarter of my gas a day, which is a pretty substantial amount to save up on, especially over time. So yeah, and plus with Instacart, you interact with people a lot more. You have a lot more opportunities to, and it's less time sensitive, and so therefore I have a lot more opportunities to practice my people skills, and that's important because it's about who you know, not what you know, right? And if you make the right friends, then that can pay off in the long run, and in a number of ways. So yeah, that's that. That's pretty much my financial situation. I also started paying the utility bills on this house that I'm living in. I'm actually living in my grandmother's house right now. It's a 3-story house, and I'm living here by myself. And I don't pay rent to live here, but I do pay for the utilities, obviously, because I use the utilities. Electricity, water, gas, and garbage. And honestly, it's not that bad, and I can deal with it. but you know, I'm a 21-year-old. I should be paying that kind of stuff anyway, and and the phone bill, of course. But yeah, and my grandmother's still living up in the retirement home up in the Seattle area, and I'm keeping this house for her, and it's a pretty good situation. It works for me. It works for them. Them being my grandmother and aunt. My aunt has taken responsibility over my grandmother, and yeah. So that's pretty much my financial situation in a nutshell. I'm with Instacart. I'm making roughly $20 an hour doing it. It's pretty nice. In fact, one delivery I did yesterday paid, I think, $80, which is which is a record breaker. I've done some DoorDash orders that paid roughly $40, mostly from customer tips, but I've never done anything that paid $80. It's pretty awesome. Granted, it took like 3 hours to do it, but it still paid off in the end, because yeah, $80 in 3 hours. That's about 23, I think, an hour, if I'm doing my math correctly. But yeah, so yeah, and now with this e-commerce thing I'm doing, and I'll get to the point of this video pretty soon. I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot. I will talk about the results I'm after with this thing, but I'm not going to talk about the thing itself, because I'm actually legally not allowed to. I'm not allowed to use a public platform and mention any like the proper nouns or anything like that. So if you detect any vagueness that I'm going to be expressing with this e-commerce thing, it's because of legal purposes, not because it's a sketchy thing or it's a pyramid scheme or anything like that. If it was either of those things, or if it asked me to do anything immoral or asked me to take advantage of people, which it doesn't and is not, then I wouldn't do it. Simple as that. I don't believe I have a heart to, you know, do that to people. So yeah, it's pretty much had nothing but a positive, given me a positive experience, because just about every walk of my life has improved since I started not only building that as a business, but also the association that comes with that and the mentorship. So yeah, making better choices. Obviously, this whole financial thing, I've never in a million years dreamed of even making $20 an hour at a job. The most I've made at a job was, I think, $13.50, and it was actually at the job that I was fired from back in September. But 20, that's pretty awesome for somebody my age, especially. But yeah, and my physical walk too. Oh man, you guys don't know this about me, but I used to struggle a lot with personal hygiene and also keeping my environment clean. And especially after moving into this house, because there's a pretty big jump in terms of responsibility over real estate, if you will. Because when I was living with my parents, before they moved to Sacramento last June, I only had one room to myself that I needed to take care of. And it wasn't that big. It was probably like half the size of this living room, which I can't, it's hard to show how big that is, but it wasn't very big. And I think it was like probably medium sized. It was about the size of probably a college dorm, maybe a little bigger, but yeah. And I don't know if all college dorms are universally the same size, but that's the best I can describe it. And I went from that and jumped to having the responsibility over an entire 3-story house. This house has a living space, 3 bedrooms upstairs and a bathroom upstairs, and a basement with a garage. And yeah, that's a lot of responsibility for somebody like me who works and is a single man who's in his early 20s. But that's no excuse. I have to take care of this place. And for the first couple of months, it was a real struggle for me, especially since all my life I've been struggling with cleanliness. And what do I mean by that? Well, especially I think it was the worst when I was in middle school, but I would go for weeks, if not months, without showering once or brushing my teeth once. Pretty disgusting, I know. I'm going to be just completely transparent with you guys. I've got nothing to hold back. But yeah, hygiene was something I struggled with a lot. And, you know, my mom always complained about my BO. And my dad too, from time to time. And yeah, for the first few months living here, it would get pretty dirty pretty fast. You know, the dishes would pile up, dirty clothes would pile up, garbage would pile up. I was just not taking care of myself or my environment. But you know, as I've been around these people who are associated with this e-commerce thing I'm doing, I've been making better choices because they inspire me so much. And yeah, you know, dishes are getting washed, teeth is getting brushed, I'm taking showers like I'm supposed to, as frequently I'm supposed to. doing laundry, making sure, yeah, the clothes and the garbage don't pile up, making sure all the bills are paid and on time too, and I'm saving up money now. Oh, it's great. And I'm taking vitamins. I'm taking like 23 different vitamins that are considered to be the best in the market, actually. And I do that because after I take them, I feel very alive throughout the day, and that in combination with the fact that I'm practicing a proper morning routine now, yeah, it's great, and that'll pay off in the long run too. Because if you consistently take vitamins like that and you consistently eat healthy, I eat 80% organic, 20% whatever I want. And yeah, I'm doing meal prep too. This week's meal prep is grilled asparagus, sautéed cremini mushrooms, chicken thighs, with a little bit of Gruyere cheese, and what was the other thing? Purple potatoes. Yeah, roasted purple potatoes. It's awesome. And funny enough, I used to really hate vegetables, and because that's just something I never grew out of. But I know that when you eat properly and you take vitamins and you supplement, that's going to pay off in the long run because it extends your life expectancy, and in so doing, will allow me to actually be active in the lives of my grandkids and my great grandkids. And yeah, that's what I really want. Legacy and longevity right there. So yeah. Yeah, with this Instacart thing I'm doing, I'm starting to exercise more, and I'll be signing up for a gym membership after this quarantine is lifted. And yeah, just making better choices. I'm reading books now. Ever since I started building this e-commerce business, I've read, I think, like 18 to 20 different books. I can't remember exactly how many, but yeah, a bunch of them are sitting over there on that laptop table. Yeah, I have a copy of Get Married, Stay Married by Paul Sika, who I will fairly soon get connected to, and he will, of course, provide the marriage counsel for things like that. And obviously, I'm not married right now, but that'll be a huge benefit later. 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell is the book I'm reading right now. And I'm actually going to be learning directly from John Maxwell on May 2nd, I think. Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, The Go-Giver, The One Thing, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Leadership, just, books on, leadership, and just success in general, and growth. It's about the intentionality. When you're intentional with your personal growth, then it'll change your life, I promise. And I listen to a lot less music and a lot more audios. I still really like music, particularly my favorite band, which is Rush. I'm not going to go too much into the music part of things because I have a pretty strong opinion about music, and that could be like a 2-hour-long video in and of itself. But yeah, listening to less music and substituting audios instead. Attending church regularly. I am a Christian, and I go to church to connect with other Christians and to grow my spiritual walk. And I'm generally less pissed off at the world. I use less profanity in traffic, things like that. Yeah, it's completely changed my life for the better. It really has. And I honestly can't wait to reap the rewards it's going to give me. And I don't mean that in a selfish way, because in order to actually do that, you have to help people. You really do, like a lot. And helping people is something I've always been passionate about, and that was part of the reason. That was partly what inspired me to make this channel in the first place, because I wanted to use the financial gain I'd get from this channel to help people by donating to nonprofits and things like that, or just to help an everyday person. Like, think about say, for example, you are in a Denny's or something, and across the table from you is a single lady who's feeding her kid. And you go to talk to her, and then she tells you that she has to take her kid to work on a bus because she can't afford a car right now. And just imagine what it would be like to be able to write that woman a $10,000 check and tell her, here, take this, go buy yourself a car. Oh, man. Just seeing the reaction of people in situations like that, that's what really fires me up. And I can't wait to do things like that someday. And doing philanthropic things like that with the funds I get from my channel was my original intent. But this e-commerce thing has a lot more promise in terms of financial gain, and therefore will grant me the ability to do things like that to an even greater scale, which is a huge, huge, huge reason why I'm doing it in the first place. So, But so what's the point of all this then? Obviously, yeah, I want to keep you guys updated on things because yeah, it's definitely changed my life for the better, and I'm going to keep doing it until it grants me financial independence and beyond. But so it's going to grant me financial independence, and therefore I won't have to dedicate like 40 hours a week to a job, or in my case, a 1099 income. And I'll get a lot of my time back, and we'll also have the money to be able to fund hobbies to a much higher degree than I would have otherwise. And that includes this YouTube channel. I still intend to come back to it when it becomes practical and possible to do so. And instead of doing it, and therefore, since I don't have any intention on using this channel as a way to make money anymore, I want to. That means the effort I will be putting into this channel will come out of love and passion instead of necessity, and therefore will be pretty much stress-free, which is the whole point of it. And therefore, since I'm not really going to be bothered by the income that this will not generate, because I don't intend to make money off of this channel, I won't have to bombard you guys, my subscribers, with, you know, sponsor promos or like, share, subscribe, things like that. So I understand why channels do that, because obviously that's how they make their money, because YouTube ad revenue isn't that profitable or lucrative, but it still bugs me to see stuff like that. And this video is sponsored by, not again, you know, that's just how I react. And so I don't want to be inflicting that kind of thing onto you people. And with this e-commerce thing, it'll turn into an entity that will provide me with passive income. I won't need to rely on the income from this channel to, you know, continue doing it, to continue growing it, the channel that is. And so therefore I won't need to do sponsorships or really need to care about the amount of subscribers I get. The subscriber count will mostly just be for personal fulfillment, if anything. And yeah, that's that. So yeah, I'm still on the fence. I don't know how I'll feel when the time comes, but if my intention to come back doesn't change, then yeah, I am not going to be hitting you guys with that stuff. And I think that'll be really nice for you guys and myself too. So yeah. Again, I don't know when that's going to be. It's a case-by-case basis with this thing. It could be 2 years, it could be 5, it could be 10. I don't know. But I honestly don't really care how long it takes, because in the end, it's a small price to pay for the longevity it's going to provide for pretty much the rest of my life. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's been a huge positive influence on me. And therefore, yeah, I want to come back and do this channel for free, essentially. And I think by doing it for free, I'll get a lot more personal fulfillment out of it too. So yeah, that's that. And actually what inspired me to even make this video today in the first place was I was just upstairs and going through all my videos, and even my most recent videos, the fantastic tutorial on the Mithril Elven Forge Hammer, I felt a tremendous sense of nostalgia by watching those, even though none of them are over 2 years old. All of them are between roughly 6 months and about 1.5 years. And I felt the same nostalgia as I feel when I'm watching VeggieTales or something, or SpongeBob, I guess. Because yeah, so much has changed since I stopped uploading. So much has changed. I've made so many different choices than I have made for my entire life, honestly. And I feel like a completely different person now. And that's results right there, I think. And the financial gain that I'll be getting out of this in the coming years is honestly icing on the cake for me, because just the association, the people that are also involved with this that I get to connect to, and the mentorship, just that is already priceless to me. And being able, and have actually being shown the other side of the coin when it comes to personal growth and things like that, that's already super valuable to me. The business vehicle, the e-commerce, is icing on the cake to me. But having those both hand in hand is just a blessing beyond what words can describe or express. So I'm so glad that I have found this, that the door opened up for me and I capitalized on it like I did. And yeah, because it's going to provide me with the longevity I want, and it's going to provide you guys with content that has so much value to it, and something that I think I'll be taking a lot of pride in. So yeah. Now, if any of you guys happen to want to build something like that yourself, obviously I can't really help you directly, but one piece of advice I can give you is when you actually become intentional with your own personal growth, the best you can do right now is to grow into someone who will actually attract people who are connected to people who are making a killing in life, basically. And what you can, and the best thing you could do at your current point in the situation is to, well, read books. Actually, read books on leadership, read books on success, and yeah, the ones I just mentioned are really good starters. You can, so I'll go through them again. The ones I remember off the top of my head are the Go Giver, the Compound Effect, the One Thing, Leader Shift, Subtle Art of Not Giving an F-Bomb, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I actually recommend you read that one first. The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Embrace Your Weird, Retire Young, Retire Rich, Business of the 21st Century, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Get Married, Stay Married, the 5 Love Languages, the latter of which can actually help you even outside a romantic situation. Be Obsessed or Be Average, the 10X Rule, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's an important one. And I think there's a couple more that I'm not remembering right now. But yeah, read books on things like that. Oh, and one that my brother Daniel recommends. I haven't read this myself, but it's Think and Grow Rich. I don't remember who wrote it, but he's read it, and it's his favorite one out of all the ones that he's read so far. But yeah, books like that on success and leadership. Start reading those and apply what you learn from those books in your everyday life. And even if you start doing that, I think people will look at you weirdly, and people will judge you and ridicule you and things like that. But one thing that you need to know about success is you're going to accumulate haters one way or another, and they're going to try and stop you from accomplishing your dreams. They really are. I've witnessed that firsthand. You know, a lot of my family members are not too wild about what I'm doing, but their tone will change after they get like a free Lamborghini or something. I'm exaggerating, but yeah. So it's mostly because people don't understand this stuff, and it's not because of their fault. It's not through any fault of their own. It's actually because they've never been shown that other side of the coin, because the education system never really tells them about that stuff. So yeah, if you want to do what I'm doing or something similar to what I'm doing, like I said, I can't help you directly, but the best piece of advice I can give you: start reading books on success and personal development. Apply what you learn in a real life situation into your everyday life, and at some point you'll grow into someone who will attract someone who is connected and someone who can open a door for you and basically launch you into some kind of business vehicle that will allow you to build your own legacy and longevity. And if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. That's I personally want more from life than what the E quadrant, as we describe, has to offer. The E quadrant, the cash flow quadrant, is something that Robert Kiyosaki made, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. There's the E quadrant, the S quadrant, the B quadrant, and the I quadrant. The E quadrant is the employee quadrant. And so, you know, jobs, 1099, things like that. Well, actually, 1099 falls in the S quadrant, as self-employed. But having a job, I don't think will provide me, this is my opinion, with the life that I want. And I wanted the life of basic freedom. I didn't want to I didn't want to dedicate my life to building somebody else's dream. And that's part of the reason I built this channel in the first place. Because I wanted to build my own dreams. And after this door opened up for me, I can do that to a much greater degree now. And so if you agree with me on that, great. And if you don't, that's also great. More power to you. And that's totally fine. If you want to stick with having a job, and if you're happy with that, like my other brother is, he actually wants to become an FBI agent. And I've told him about this stuff. And he wishes me nothing but the best in that. But he personally doesn't want to do it himself, because he's totally happy taking orders. And, you know, having a system where he doesn't have a lot of responsibility. And that's totally fine. That could be you as well. And but yeah, if you're like me and you want to build longevity and a legacy, then yeah, start with books on success and personal development, and you'll grow into someone who'll attract a well-connected individual. So that's the best advice I can give you on that. Or you could start your own YouTube channel. Yeah, as far as YouTube is concerned, I would build it around a topic that you're either good at already or something you're passionate about. In my case, it was cosplay. So, and don't be afraid of making mistakes, because mistakes or failure, it's not really a failure in my opinion. It's you've discovered a way that doesn't work, and you learn from that. And the more you learn, the closer to success you'll get. So, and that applies to YouTube. That, in fact, that applies to all avenues of life, really. So, but yeah, there you have it. Wow, scared the crap out of me, motorcycle. But yeah, I'm doing pretty awesome. Life's really good for me. And I hope you guys stay safe, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. And I can't wait to get this channel back up and running again, and do it as a passion project instead of a way to make money. Because I think if I did it like that, then you guys would enjoy the content a lot more. I would enjoy dishing out the content a lot more, and it'll work out for all of us. So. And yeah, making better choices, and I have zero intent on quitting this e-commerce thing I'm doing. And yeah, there you have it. Life's good, and I'm just so grateful and so thankful for just the blessings that have come into my life. So I'm getting a little choked up about it, but yeah, that's that. And I'm glad I could update you on things and keep you in the loop, because I know some of you like that and appreciate that and want that. But yeah, I think that'll about cover it. So I don't know when the next time I'll upload a video will be, a personal update, that is. Maybe after something drastic. But yeah, love you guys a ton, and I'll see you next time.